for meaning, Lila. In the early days of our friendship, Lila and I showed off our dolls to each other, but without appearing to. Although we were in each other's vicinity, we each pretended to be alone. Eventually, the day came when, sitting outside next to the cellar window with the iron grating, we exchanged our dolls, Lila holding mine and I hers. Lila inexplicably but intentionally pushed my doll through the opening in the grating and dropped her. I felt an intolerable sorrow, realizing that Lila could be so mean. I was attached to my plastic doll. She was the most precious possession I had. For me, she was alive, and to know that she was on the floor of the cellar amid the thousands of beasts who lived there threw me into despair. I had never expected Lila to do something so spiteful to me, but I held back my feelings on the edge of moistening eyes. I felt an intolerable sorrow, realizing that Lila could be so mean. Okay, this has been read. 3. I experienced a violent pain, but knew that the pain of quarreling with her would be even stronger. I felt strangled by two agonies, one already happening and one opposite, one possible. I said nothing. I knew I was taking a great risk. I threw Lila's doll, the one she had just handed to me, into the cellar. What you do? I do, I said immediately. Lila looked at me in disbelief, recognizing this recitation. Now let's go and get them back, I added. 4. We went together. At the entrance to the building, on the left was a door that led into the cellar. Because it was broken, one of the panels was hanging on just one hinge. The entrance was blocked by a chain that crudely held the two panels together. Any child would be tempted, but at the same time terrified by the thought of forcing the door that little bit to make it possible to go through to the other side. 5. Once through the door with Lila in the lead, we descended 5 stone steps into a damp, dimly lit space. I tried to stay close behind Lila, groping my way forward. All around were unidentifiable objects, eerie masses, sharp, arched, square, or round. Lila worked out the position, the position of the narrow opening at the steel level above us from which we had dropped the dolls. We felt along the rough, bumpy wall. We looked into the shadows. The dolls weren't there. Lila searched along the floor with her hands, something I didn't have the courage to do. Long minutes passed. Once I seemed to see my doll, and with a tug at my heart, I bent over to grab her, but it was only a crumpled page of an old newspaper. They aren't here, Lila said, and I headed towards the door. At the top of the steps, she said, "Is Sheila?" Ishil took them. Ishil was a feud neighbor to us like the ogre of fairy tales. I abandoned my doll to her fate and ran after Lila, who was already twisting briskly between the panels of the broken doors. 6. We were forbidden to go into neighbors' houses, but Lila decided to go to Aisyl's anyway, and I followed. That was when I became convinced that nothing in life would ever stop her, and that every disobedient act contains a breathtaking opportunities. I can still feel Lila's hand grasping mine as we climbed the stairs, and I like to think she decided to take it, not only because she sensed that I wouldn't have the courage to get onto the top floor, but also because with that gesture she herself was looking for the strength to continue. At Ishel's door, my heart was pounding. We rang the doorbell. There was silence, then shuffling. Mm. Number 7. Ishel opened the door. Our dolls, said Lila. They were in the cellar, and you took them. I don't know where she got all that confidence. I couldn't believe she were there. I couldn't believe we were there, and Lila was speaking to him like that. He was staring at her in bewilderment. He repeated, as if to understand clearly the meaning of the words, I took your dolls. I felt that he was not angry, but unexpectedly hurt. He his stuck his hand into his trouser pocket. We clutched each other tightly, waiting for him to bring out a knife. Instead, he took out his wallet and gave Lila some money. Go and buy yourselves dolls, he said, not unkindly, and remember that they are a gift from me. Uh, Section 2, Reading for Meaning. Read passages to Section 2, Reading for Meaning. Read passage to Lila in the insert and answer all the questions below from paragraph 1, 3a. What did the girls do? Which showed they had become good friends. They exchanged their dolls with each other. Lila explicably but intentionally pushed my doll through the opening in the grating and dropped her. Explain in your own words what the writer thinks about Lila's behavior at this point. There was no reason why Lila should push her doll into the cellar. Lila did the act on purpose. Paragraph 2, 4a. The writer knew that Lila was mean, gave one word using in the paragraph which reinforces this idea, spiteful. B. The writer held back her feelings on the edges of moistening eyes. What is she determined to do? She is determined not to weep. From paragraph 3, 5a. What were the two agonies felt by the writer? The writer lost her dear doll. Uh, 8 was if she had a quarrel with Lila, she would lose her best friend as well. B. The writer says, so what you do, I do. I gave a one word used in the paragraph which shows that this was something Lila actually did. The citation from paragraph 4 6. Any child would be tempted, but at the same time terrified by the thought of forcing the door. Explain in your own words how the children felt about the cellar. The possibility of opening of the door tempted the boys to explore the cellar. They were at the same time scared of what horrible they might encounter there. From paragraph 5, why were the objects in the cellar unidentifiable? It was dark in the cellar, and so they just groped to identify the objects. From paragraph 6, 8a, what was the disobedient act carried out by Lila and the writer? They went to Achilles' house, and that was not a safe act. Lila took the writer's hand because she knew the writer lacked the courage to go onto the top floor. What was the one other reason for Lila's action? Lila did not have enough courage, and so she wanted someone reliable to be with her all the time. Lila was speaking to him like that. Apart from her confidence, what does this tell you about Lila's behavior? She was disrespectful and forthright. From paragraph 8, 10, explain why the girls were surprised by Ashel's reaction to their visit. They were sure that Ashel was a frightful and ill-mannered person and would harm them. Ashel seemed to have feelings and bore good manners and was kind to them by giving them money to buy a nice doll. On the other hand, Ashil seemed to have feelings and bore good manners and was kind to them by giving them money to buy a nice doll. From paragraph 2 to 7, inclusive for each of the words or phrases below, circle the letter A, B, C, or D, which has the same meaning that the word or phrase has in the passage. A. Intolerable, unbearable, attached to, fond of, crudely, roughly, briskly, quickly, bewilderment, confusion. Reread paragraph 5, which contains phrases about the behavior or feelings of the writer. Explain the meaning of the phrases as they are used in the passage. The effect of the phrases as they are used in the passage. A. With Lila in the lead, we descended 5 stone steps into a damp, dimly lit space. I tried to stay close behind Lila, meaning Lila led the writer into the cellar. Effect. The writer felt that Lila was braver than she was. B. With a tug at my heart, I went over to grab her, but it was only a crumpled page of an old newspaper, meaning the writer felt that there was her doll at her feet, and so she excitedly bent over to retrieve it. Effect. The writer was disappointed when she discovered that it was only a crumpled piece of newspaper.